So this is a post that was on Facebook by the Canadian Gothic, whoever they are, in the Jack and Lilly Uncensored discussion and updates. Actually, I think I might join that group. I'll do it in a minute. So apparently this was released on the 4th of October, said there's an update expected in the search for Jack and Lilly. So the Royal Canadian Mounted Police said they will provide an update next week regarding the work of human remains detection dogs brought in to search for missing siblings Jack and Lilly. So remember, this was only last week that they were brought in, and we were saying, why is it taken so long? Because Jack and Lilly, in case people don't know, this is a brother and sister who disappeared from their rural property in Nova Scotia in Canada. Here they are, Jack and Lilly. And they were supposedly playing outside. Their mum, their stepdad, and their little sister baby were inside in bed. And apparently 1 minute they could hear them, then they couldn't hear them, and they disappeared. So the 4 and 6-year-old were reported missing from their home on Gaylord Road in Lansdowne Station 5 months ago. And this 5 months, I mean, these little ones, they're not going to still be alive, are they? If they're out there, if they haven't been abducted, they can't be alive because they can't have stayed alive alone all that time. So despite extensive ground and air searches, there's been no sign of the children. Police confirm that cadaver dogs have recently been deployed as part of the ongoing investigation, but have not released details on when or where the searches took place. They continue to describe the case as a highly active and intensive effort and are asking anyone with information to come forward. However, as of now, the date, time, location and format for the media update is still undecided. So that's this week. There'll be this update, but we haven't been notified yet. As they say, we don't know the date, the time, the location and the format of the media update. All they've announced is that they will provide an update this week. So that's the first thing I wanted to tell you. We'll look forward to that. Of course, as soon as I know when it is or what it is, I will we're going to follow this case. Is this members only, David? It's not members only, is it? This, I didn't make it members only, did I? I know, it's only me and you. There are more people watching, but they obviously don't want to come into the chat, which is fine. There's lots of lovely lurkers, or there might even be loathsome lurkers, but anyway, there's quite a few people watching. So now then, I haven't made this members only, did I? You've made me worry now. I don't think I did. So then the other news in this case is that Daniel, who's the stepdad, again, let me just put some windows down. He's appeared on a podcast within the last couple of days. Let me show you the podcast. It's a YouTuber I've never heard of. So this is the DT show. This is actually Twitter, or X. It's only had 110 views, which I'm sure if you put it on a YouTube channel, it would get a lot more views than that, because, people are invested in this case. They want to hear what Daniel's got to say. Daniel, of course, the stepdad, he has passed apparently a lie detector test. So I just want to give this guy from Drunk Turkey Show, DT Show, his sort of kudos. He's had, his credit, because it's his interview. It's a very long interview. So I won't be going through the whole interview. We'll be listening to some of it. I need to get in touch with the guy. In fact, I'll follow him. I need to get in touch with the guy and make sure he's okay about me replaying it. under fair use, and then I would do a react on the whole video. So I think this is what I find strange about this whole thing. I don't, the police have said nobody's a suspect. Nobody's been exonerated. Nobody's a suspect. It's one of them cases. It's very strange the way that Daniel is all over podcasts and interviews and what have you. But the mother, Malaya, she disappeared the following day, didn't she? The very next day after these little ones disappeared, she was gone from that property. That does seem strange to me, because I can't see that after just one day of searching, you would leave. You'd want to be there when these children were found, wouldn't you? Your children. So they are her children. They're not Daniel's biological children. They're his stepchildren. But she's been very quiet, hasn't she? Whereas Daniel's been talking to anyone who'll listen to him, really. And that can mean anything, can't it? We don't know if Daniel had anything to do with it. It's passed, as I say, a lie detector test. What else can you say? The police have not named him as a suspect. So we have to take that at face value. So it's an interesting interview. Well, the bits that I've seen of it. So you can watch it on there, or I am going to do a react on it. But let's just hear a little bit of it so you get an idea. I mean, Daniel, maybe he does have nothing to hide. Maybe that's why he's on all these podcasts.
I think Meadow may be woken up when she's actually moving.
Gotcha.
But it is possible, Daniel. I mean, anything's possible. This case is just an absolute circus, so anything's possible.
And so she wakes up. You wake up. What's the first thing that you do?
First thing I do when I wake up is, Malaya's right beside me, and she says, "You like hear the kids?" And then I listen for a few seconds. I said, "No, I don't hear them." So first thing I do is when I don't hear them, I get up and I, get dressed, and me and her make our way out to the kitchen. And this thing I still find odd to this day, I told investigators this, is Malaya didn't look in Jack and Lily's room when we went up, when we walked to the kitchen, right?
Okay.
So I found that odd because we both walked up together up the hallway to the kitchen. And then I poked my head I looked into the living room, didn't see the kids. I ran back to the room, looked underneath their beds and stuff, didn't see them. So then we made our way outside, right? Malaya stood in the kitchen when I was running like a moron through the house looking for the kids. And we made our way outside, we got through the fence, and then we're standing right in front of Mom's RV, and she asked me, should I call 911?
He says some funny things, like he said, I was running like a moron through the house, just, things that don't sit well. But as I've said before about a lot of these cases, I don't know what Daniel's normally like. Do you know what I mean? So I have nothing to compare it with. Is he behaving like he normally would? Does he normally talk like that? Or is it unusual the way he's talking? No, I just don't know. So he certainly doesn't seem to be frightened of talking. I think generally what we can see for when he does talk is he seems to think Malaya has got something to do with it, knows something about it. Just that's the feeling you get from him. Maybe she tried to get the kids away from him. I just don't know. We literally, this case, as much as we might feel uneasy about this, that, or the other, there is nothing that we know. And of course, same for the police. And, sometimes people are like Daniel and go on loads of podcasts and things. Like Sebastian Rogers' dad, Seth, he was like that, which always sat uneasy with me. He's not doing it so much now, is he? But, in the beginning when Sebastian Rogers first disappeared, Seth was on every bloody YouTube channel, wasn't he? He was talking to anyone who'd listen to him. And then he stopped because he started getting some sort of negativity coming back. And so he stopped doing it, didn't he? And now he's got his own YouTube. Oh, that'll be it for Daniel. Soon he'll probably get his own YouTube channel and set up his members and this, that, and the other. You know, you just think it all feels weird. But at the end of the day, there are 2 little kids that are missing. Where are they? Are they safe? I hope Malaya has taken them somewhere, you know, or arranged for them to be taken somewhere. Because if those kids are in those woods, they cannot be alive. It's impossible for them to be alive.
Right? That's, you know, kind of instinctual. You want to do that, right?
Right.
Because we don't hear them out in the yard. We never seen them in the house. We don't see them in the backyard. I didn't know if Mom was even home or not, right? Because I thought she might have went with my Uncle Ron.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, because he lives on that property. I think it's his mum's property, or anyway, his mum lives there as well. She didn't see anything. They've all been polygraphed, though. His mum's been polygraphed, and Malaya's been polygraphed. They've all passed the polygraph. So it's a total mystery. It's like they've just been beamed up by aliens or something. Very strange.
She's on the phone with 911. I run up into the woods where the cabins are and look in the cabins, look around the area. Didn't see them. I'm screaming and yelling, Lilly and Jack, Lilly and Jack, Lilly and Jack. And then I make my way down. There's a hill behind Mom's RV. I make my way down, and Malaya's standing there. I'm not sure if she's still on the phone with 911. She might have been on speakerphone. Kind of looks like she was messaging, but she might have been on speakerphone with the, you know, the dispatch. And so I say, I'm jumping in the car. So I ran inside. You know, I tried to go into the front door. Door's locked. Ran through the back door, the back sliding door, got into the house, grabbed the keys off the end table, because there was 2 sets of keys, right? And then I didn't take my phone. Well, I don't remember taking my phone because there's no service out there anyway, not like I can use it. So I left my phone on the end table. I'm pretty sure I left it on the end table. Investigators would know that for 100%. So grab the keys, ran up to the Nissan Pathfinder, and that's when I started to search the dirt roads and the culverts, right? So I went up Lansdowne Road, and I already told investigators this, but that blanket was not there in that tree.
Which direction were you
heading? That would be when I'm coming out the end of the driveway.
So that's interesting. So, of course, they found Lily's blanket. Now, the investigators did. He's saying there that blanket was not there in the tree at that time. So it's like it's been left there afterwards? You know, it all does feel strange, this, I think. So he's saying Lily's blanket was not in the tree. But later, the police did find Lily's blanket and they took it off for forensic testing, but they haven't come back with any, they haven't told us any results. Maybe that's what they'll come out with this week when they do an update. They did find Lily's blanket, or certainly pieces of it, and they found a child's footprint, didn't they, or a boot print? Oh, I don't know. It's just awful, this case, I think. It's a real mystery.
And we're going right toward Lansdowne Road, over the tracks and then hanging a hard right.
So you were coming the direction that would have been visible to you, and you didn't see it.
Yeah, I'd be going right at the end of the driveway. I take a right. I'm going up the road.
Across the railroad tracks and then the right up of the dirt road.
Yeah, that's Lansdowne Road where the blanket was found.
All right. So when you're running around and as you're going outside and you're looking, that gate outside, is it always open? Was it unlocked? Was it locked?
Sometimes it's open.
Was it open that morning?
I do not remember that. I don't remember I don't remember.
Okay. And so you come around.
It's not hard. It's not hard to open up gates anyway. They're just locked.
There's a lot he doesn't remember, isn't there? You know, as well. I mean, would you? Of course, you know, you would think you would remember if the gate was locked, because when your kids had gone missing, wouldn't you just go straight to the gate and think, oh, if they got out the gate? And then you'd either think, oh, you can't get out because the gate's locked, or you think, oh no, the gate's not locked, they might have got out. So strange that it doesn't remember that, but as I say, we know nothing in this case, really.
I always forget to close. My mom always reminds me, but they're just a slide and bolt lock, right?
Yeah.
There's nothing hard about those locks at all.
Well, maybe not, but I'm just kind of curious because if you can unlock it and open it, but if you're on the other side of the fence and you're small, can you reclose it?
Yeah, you can. You can. All you do is just pull the fence close to you and then close it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And so
I'd like to see that lock, because the other thing is, could somebody have got in? Or, I mean, could the kids have got out? How low is the padlock, the bolt? Is it too high up for the kids to reach, or could the kids have unbolted it and gone out? I'd like to see that. I can't decide about this guy at all. No offense, Daniel, if you're watching, which you may be, because he probably watches quite a few podcasts about this case, but just can't get my head around him. But no, I don't feel one way or another about
so there may
Daniel.
not be a clue there. So you're out there searching in the woods. How long before law enforcement arrived?
I was told 12 minutes.
Okay.
But then when I looked at the documentation and, asked questions and dug further, it was 22 minutes, I do believe.
And were you at the house when they arrived?
I was actually, when they were arriving, I was actually coming back to the house in the car. And I couldn't park in the driveway because RCMP just stopped in the yard, right?
Okay.
Is they were just starting to walk down and talk to Malaya. So what I did is I parked the white Nissan Pathfinder, because that's the car Malaya owns, the 2017 Nissan white Pathfinder. And I parked over on the right-hand side of the marsh, going toward Lansdowne Road. There's a marsh that's right beside the house there. Probably can pull that up on the map. There's a little driveway that's right beside it. It's about 100 feet from the house.
Okay. Around here?
Yeah, that's actually the marsh. And there's a little driveway right on the left-hand side right there. Yep. That's where I parked in the white Nissan Pathfinder.
Okay.
And then when I jumped out of the car, the RCMP yelled at me from in the yard, right? Because they could see me clearly.
Yeah.
And they said, Daniel, don't go back into the woods. So at that point, I didn't go back into the woods. I walked over to the house and I went down and I was talking to my mother, because the RCMP just, officers just sworn Malaya.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so they asked you to stay there. They asked her to stay there. Did they look into your Pathfinder or the Pathfinder? Did they search it?
No, they didn't at all. No.
At any point?
Not that I know of.
Now, was this the vehicle that went with Malaya? Like, I think it was towed later.
So strange, because they haven't looked at his car, he says, at all since. You think the car would be examined, surely. Anyway, look, I can't stay on much longer. We've got to go, but I'm gonna contact the guy and see if he's okay with me doing, playing the whole interview. If you want to, of course, the interview's here for you to watch if you want to watch it on your own or whatever. But I'm going to, I think this will be an interesting interview to go through together. I'm not trying to say that Daniel had anything to do with this. I literally don't have any feeling one way or the other. I feel just as likely they might have had something to do with it as that he didn't, but he passed his lie detector test. So, that means a lot. I mean, people do sometimes pass them even though they're lying. So it's not 100. That's why they're not admitted in court, isn't it? It's not 100%. So we've got to remember that, but it's one of them, isn't it? But yeah. So I will be back. I will hopefully, this gentleman will say it's okay for me to use his video for fair use. Good for him for having the interview. Good for Daniel for doing the interview. Malaya is, just disappeared off the face of the earth, it feels like, whereas Daniel seems to be sort of quite happy to talk. And is that a positive sign as far as innocence is concerned, or a negative sign? I don't know. Literally do not know. But it'd be interesting to see what comes through this week as well. Like the police are supposedly going to be doing an update, so we'll look out for that. Just wanted to tell you about it.